California Public Employee Wealth Report, Episode 5, The Retirement Decision That Outlives You. Understanding Pension Survivor Options. Imagine working for 30 years. Every month, a portion of your paycheck goes toward retirement. You build service credit. You watch your pension estimate grow. You begin counting the years, then the months, and eventually the days until retirement. When the time finally arrives, you receive several pension estimates. One estimate provides the largest monthly payment. The others provide smaller monthly payments, but they may continue some level of income to another person after your death. At first glance, the decision may appear simple. Why voluntarily accept a smaller pension? Why not take the largest check available? But this is not simply a decision about the size of your pension. It is a decision about what may happen to your household income after one spouse dies. And in many cases, it is a decision that will continue affecting your family long after you are gone. Hello, and welcome to another edition of the California Public Employee Wealth Report. I'm Stephen Grossman with SB Pensions. This program is devoted to helping California public employees better understand the financial decisions that may affect their pensions, retirement income, taxes, health care, family security, and long-term financial independence. In our previous episode, we discussed long-term care and the importance of protecting your independence if your health changes. Today, we are discussing another form of protection, the protection of a surviving spouse, domestic partner, family member, or other person who may depend upon your retirement income. Our subject is pension survivor options. This is an important topic because the choice you make may determine whether another person receives continuing pension income after your death. Before we begin, please remember that California public employees participate in many different retirement systems. Your benefits may be administered by CalPERS or CalSTRS. This episode is educational. It is not intended to replace the retirement estimate, official publications, or individual guidance provided by your retirement system. Now, let's meet a fictional couple. Their names are Daniel and Rebecca Foster. Daniel is 62 years old. Rebecca is 60. Daniel has worked for a California County Public Works Department for more than 30 years. He has always considered himself fortunate to have a dependable job and health benefits. Rebecca worked outside the home during part of their marriage, but she also spent several years raising their children and caring for her parents. Daniel receives his estimates. The highest is $7,400 per month. Another option provides $6,600, continuing for Rebecca if Daniel dies first. Daniel looks at the difference, $800 per month, $9,600 per year. His first reaction is predictable. That is a lot of money to give up. Daniel and Rebecca begin imagining what they could do. They could travel. They could help their grandchildren. They could finish paying off their mortgage sooner. But Rebecca asks a different question. What happens to me if you don't outlive me? The room becomes quiet. Rebecca was looking at it as part of their household income. The difference matters. Daniel and Rebecca decide to calculate what Rebecca's financial life might look like if Daniel dies first. Their current household receives Daniel's pension, Rebecca's future Social Security benefit, and income from their savings. If Daniel chooses a pension option that ends at his death, a substantial portion of their household income could disappear, but many of their expenses would remain. The property taxes would continue. Homeowners insurance would continue. Utilities would continue. Vehicle expenses would continue. Healthcare expenses would continue. The house might need repairs, and Rebecca might eventually require assistance or long-term care of her own. Some expenses would decline after Daniel's death, but they would not necessarily decline by the same percentage as the household income. This is one of the most important ideas in survivor planning. When one spouse dies, household expenses do not usually fall by half. The mortgage or rent does not become half as large. The property tax bill does not become half as large. A new roof does not cost half as much because only one person lives in the house. The surviving spouse may also face new expenses. There may be legal expenses. Home maintenance may need to be outsourced. The survivor may need more transportation assistance. Daniel had spent years asking whether his pension would be enough for retirement. He had never asked whether Rebecca's income would be enough for widowhood. That is the purpose of today's episode. not to tell you which pension option to select, but to help you ask the questions that should come before the selection. Let's begin with a basic concept. Many pension systems allow a retiring employee to choose between a higher monthly benefit and one or more reduced payment options. The highest monthly amount is sometimes described as an unmodified allowance, a member-only benefit, or a maximum lifetime benefit. The exact term depends upon your retirement system. Other options may reduce your monthly payment in exchange for providing continuing income. The amount of the reduction may depend on your age, the age of the person you are protecting, and other factors. Generally, the retirement system is calculating the expected cost of paying benefits across more than one lifetime. This is why a younger beneficiary may produce a larger reduction. But percentages and calculations are only part of the story. The real issue is income. Whose income are you protecting? How much would that person need? For how long? There is another important distinction. The words beneficiary and survivor do not always mean the same thing. A beneficiary is generally designated. A survivor qualifies under the law. A survivor may include an eligible spouse, registered domestic partner, qualifying child, or dependent parent. They could be the same person, but they don't have to be. A one-time death benefit is also different from a continuing monthly pension. Seeing someone's name as a beneficiary doesn't automatically tell you how much continuing income they receive. You need to understand the type of benefit attached. Is it a one-time payment? A return of contributions? A percentage of your pension? A lifetime payment? These distinctions matter. Daniel and Rebecca list their entire household income. Daniel's pension, Rebecca's Social Security, their 457 plan, IRA accounts, savings, and life insurance. If Rebecca dies first, Daniel still has his pension. If Daniel dies first and chooses the member-only pension, Rebecca could lose the largest source of income. The effect is not symmetrical. How financially dependent is the other person upon your pension? If your spouse has limited retirement income or no pension, continuing income may be extremely important. There is no universal answer. A married couple with two strong public pensions faces a different decision from a household that relies almost entirely on one employee's pension. What would the survivor's expenses actually be? Avoid estimating from memory. Put the expenses on paper. Housing, taxes, insurance, utilities, food, healthcare. Then ask which expenses would disappear and which would remain. A survivor budget reveals whether the remaining income would support the survivor's actual life. How long might the beneficiary need income? None of us knows how long we will live, but age, health, and family history can affect planning assumptions. A survivor who is 58 when you retire could need support for several decades. Prepare for the financial consequences of either spouse living longer than expected. A fixed amount of income may lose purchasing power over time. COLA adjustments may be limited and may not match actual increases in housing or healthcare costs. When reviewing survivor income, do not evaluate only the first year. Consider the survivor's income 10 years later, 20 years later, and possibly 30 years later. Would the survivor remain eligible for retiree health coverage? Would coverage continue only if the survivor receives an ongoing monthly pension? Direct these questions to your employer. Can the pension election be changed later? For many, the answer is no. After the deadline, the election may become irrevocable or changeable only under specific events. The best time to understand is before the application becomes final. Request multiple estimates. Ask what happens if you die first or if they die first. Get answers in writing. Now we arrive at a question many ask. Could life insurance be used instead of selecting a survivor pension? This approach is sometimes referred to as pension maximization. The employee selects a higher pension payment and uses some portion of the difference to purchase life insurance. If they die first, the insurance provides money to the beneficiary. Life insurance is not automatically a substitute. A pension option provides guaranteed monthly income. Life insurance provides a death benefit the survivor must then manage or invest. Life insurance depends upon underwriting, health, and premium affordability. If the policy lapses before death or premiums rise too high, the strategy may fail. On the other hand, life insurance may provide advantages. It can offer a lump sum to pay off a mortgage, help family members, or include living benefits for qualifying illness. A thoughtful comparison should compare the guarantees, risks, taxes, and duration. It should also consider whether a combination of both might be more appropriate. The public employee may have earned the pension, but the election can affect two lives. The spouse or partner should participate in the conversation before the election is final. Protection always has a cost. The correct question is not simply, how much am I giving up? But what risk am I transferring? And what happens if I do not transfer it? Now consider Angela and Marcus Reed. Both are California public employees. Both have pensions and deferred compensation accounts. Their survivor planning looks very different. Angela and Marcus may select different percentages. They may use one primarily for income and the other for survivor protection. Different facts produce different decisions. First, identify every source of retirement income. Second, determine which sources continue after death. Third, prepare two survivor budgets. Fourth, request every realistic estimate. Fifth, evaluate other resources like home equity. Sixth, review health coverage. Seventh, involve the appropriate professionals. Each professional sees a different part of the picture. Coordination matters. No single professional should guess about another professional's area. Discussion questions for you and your family. If I die first, which income stops? How much monthly income would the survivor need? Which expenses would remain? Would the survivor retain health care? Do we understand beneficiary v. survivor? Could other assets complement the pension? When does the election become final? Daniel and Rebecca ended by asking a much better question. Which combination gives both of us the greatest likelihood of financial security, regardless of who dies first? Retirement is not simply the final chapter of your career. It may be a financial plan covering 2 lifetimes. The income that remains after your death may be equally important. Do not choose an option because a coworker selected it. Your coworker has a different spouse, health, mortgage, and completely different needs for survivor income. Study the options. Model the consequences. Include the person who may live with the decision. A pension is more than a monthly check. It is an income system. Thank you for joining me for this edition of the California Public Employee Wealth Report. I'm Stephen Grossman with SB Pensions. In our next episode, we will discuss the 3 tax buckets: taxable money, tax-deferred money, and potentially tax-advantaged money. We will explore why asset location matters. Retirement is not just about maximizing today's check. It is about protecting income, preserving independence, and creating options for the people you love. I'm Stephen Grossman, and this has been the California Public Employee Wealth Report. Thank you for watching.